Hello, beautiful earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Today we're going to talk about love, romance, dating, sex, topics like that. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date. That one's popping out. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, a little energy check-in. That being said, let's try and have some fun and get you some helpful, insightful messages. All right, so bottom of your deck is the Six of Pentacles. So that's the card of reciprocity. We'll see how that comes through. All right, let's see. It seems like some of you who are just kind of on the cusp of dating or kind of putting yourself out there, you seem to have a lot of people interested in you, but it's like, I'm sort of getting the idea of someone going through like a dating app and like someone's profiles, and you're just kind of like half-hearted about a lot of them, and a lot of you are like wishing like, when is my person going to present themselves? Hint, it's a fire sign. No, that's for some of you. With the King of Wands coming in is what you need to embrace. Some of you may also just need to embrace singlehood a little bit longer, because it's like the idea of like low-hanging fruit, right? Just because it's there and it's easy doesn't mean it's necessarily satisfying in any way. So some of you, like, that's sort of the vibe I get here. It's like maybe playing the field a little bit, you know, casually dating, hooking up here and there. But at the end of the day, though, you don't really feel like you're satisfied. It feels like you're very just like, bleh, like left feeling empty. Like, I want to feel something passionate. And so it's interesting that what's coming in is the King of Wands is what you need to embrace here. It's like, yeah, you need to look for avenues where you do feel like your passion is lit up, right? So I always recommend like participate in group activities, hobbies, you know, sports, clubs, whatever you're very passionate about, even if that's, you know, church or spirituality. You're going to find people who are kind of, you know, of that same mindset, or, you know, feeling that same vibe. So you have a better chance of connecting with someone who you do have a deeper connection with if you put yourselves in scenarios, social scenarios, right? Where you can just naturally, organically, casually chit chat and meet people that way. But I know that's hard, especially nowadays, right? Everything is so kind of driven with online dating and stuff like that. So then, let's see, in terms of what you need to release, something that could be hindering or getting in your way, something to do with family or possibly a Cancerian energy too. Some of you may feel like you hit it off with a Cancer, and I'm getting the idea that they might be an ex, or potentially if you're with them that there may be some sort of fallout. But the thing is, that wouldn't come out of nowhere. That would sort of be for those who have been in like a long-term commitment, and it's like you both have lost your zest and passion, and you already are low-key like exploring other options before you're totally out of that scenario. I wouldn't recommend that, especially if the cards aren't on the table that you both are doing that, right? Because that seems a little bit deceptive and shady, and you don't want that bad karma. I would be open and honest with your person. And I know that's hard, right? That's very hard to do. But the thing is, I feel like you already have wandering eyes, or even if you don't, I'm getting the idea of people are just naturally like flirting with the earth signs this week. So even at work and, I don't know, possibly online, whatever it is. But again, though, maybe it's kind of one of those things where if you haven't acted on it, because you're still in a relationship, for those who relate to that message, you know you can't, but it's like the idea of exploring it is intriguing to you. But then if that, there might be that frustration of like, I want to, but I can't. So like something about this needs to be freed up a little bit. If it doesn't have to do with a Cancerian energy, and I say that because the Chariot is the card of Cancer, there could be you, especially with the map here, have a very, especially on those on dating apps, you have a very specific idea in mind of like what territory you're willing to stick within in terms of your dating radius. And for some of you, the tarot spread here is saying it's like your person is there, but you're excluding them simply because they live an extra 25 miles away. And like, really? Do you really want to do that to yourself? Like, life scenarios change. It doesn't mean they're always going to be at a distance. But again, if you already have this very like playful kind of fun banter on text or email or you know, talking on the phone, like why wouldn't you at least want to go see in person? And for some of you, that's what it's saying. Like, yeah, there may be a little bit of travel involved in order for you earth signs to make it happen with this person, but it could be a strong connection. So if what's holding you back is like, well, I don't want to drive that far, the universe is like, that's not a valid excuse, honey. It's like they're showing you up a little bit there. Like, you know, that's a bad excuse. Like, you have to put some effort into this if you want it to happen. Now, I know that's not for everybody. Let's see. Yeah, others of you, it's like you're dealing with a family that's really controlling or also very narrow-minded. So for those who are dating, you may have it in your head of the type of person you're wanting to date. And so you're cutting off your options based on your wish list. But for some of you, it's like you need to be a little bit more open-minded and less structured, because you might not realize that some of your quote-unquote like desired traits in a partner, it's actually coming from this... I'm hearing the word inherited. It's like these inherited traits that, you know, your family puts up on a pedestal, but maybe that's not necessarily right for you. And I'm not talking about deal breakers, right? Of course, you need love, you need respect, you know, there's those qualities that are, you know, absolutes, right? But others of you, it's like, you know, a certain bank account or, you know, a certain job, or they have to have a great family and this and that. It's like, that would be great, but sometimes those things are out of our control and out of their control for that matter, right? We don't choose who we're raised by or how we grow up, right? So possibly giving someone the benefit of the doubt, or again, if your curiosity is piqued a little bit, maybe going and exploring that a little bit more, finding out a little bit more about this person rather than just writing it off because they don't have that, you know, perfect resume on their dating app. Just putting it out there. Some of you may have an Aquarius coming into the mix in your future. Some of you have an Aquarius who's thinking about you, but they're not really acting on it. It feels like this may be a past relationship where you guys cut it off or called it quits. And I feel like this person still like yearns after you or lusts after you, but they're not really doing much to change it. So I don't really have too much to say about that message other than like, I sort of get the impression that the feelings aren't mutual though, or else this would be a thing. Like you guys would already be together. But if you're kind of wondering about the Aquarius, I think they're kind of wondering about you too. So again, like, I guess take the steps to pursue it. However, if it's not amicable, if this person is more kind of like, I don't want to say obsessed with you because that's a scary word. And I don't really get that. Just that idea of like, maybe you broke it off and you know that they kind of wanted to work it out. There's definitely that energy coming through here. I'm sorry, I have to share this message just because I'm seeing it and I'm hearing it. Some of you have like an unhealthy addiction to like pornography, and that's replacing like you actually pursuing like a real live relationship. Some of you, I feel like in a more self-defeating way, it's like you've given up the idea of a relationship because I don't know if you just had bad experiences or you think you're undateable, or again, it's for a lot of you, it's more that I just can't find my person. Like I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and none of these candidates are what I want. Some of you, it's like you're leaning too much into that like online, I don't know, sex addiction, porn addiction, whatever it is, you know, magazines, videos. It could even be paying for sex. I don't know how else to say it. And again, I mean, that's your business, right? I'm not here to comment on that so much other than if it's becoming like more than a habit and more of like an addiction, that's something the universe is pointing out to you and wanting you to make strides to change, of actually getting out of that unhealthy pattern, because and what I mean by that is if you're wanting a real relationship, you're not going to get it from like a videotape, right? That's just common sense. So it's about taking those steps and manifesting what it is you want in a partner, and again, being open to who actually comes in. All right, so this seems like it was a spread for a lot of you that are kind of single or low-key looking, even if you are in a relationship. For those who are in a committed relationship, what else can I tell you? For some of you, your person is introducing ideas about where they want the relationship to go, and you're slightly uncomfortable with it. And that could mean a lot of different things. It could be one person is ready to have kids and the other one is still focused on their career. It could be changing up like the routine in the bedroom. Somebody may be wanting or asking for things that you aren't necessarily comfortable with. So that's like a conversation for you and your partner, but I do see that coming up in the cards. I don't see arguments though. I just see sort of people sharing their viewpoints and a lot of like, Okay, let me think about it. I don't see arguments. I just see people kind of needing some time to process what's going on. And I see someone asking like, am I ready for this? For a very small select few of you, your person might be interested in like a more untraditional lifestyle or marriage or partnership where there's other people involved, like kind of like swingers, I guess, which again, hey, no judgment here, but it is a little bit untraditional. So your person might be taking time to ask themselves if they're ready for that, or if they're in a place where they're able to do that and not have these sort of, not have jealousy issues, or you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think someone is taking steps to really examine, like, what would the repercussions of this be? Like, could this go bad? Could this be good for us? But I do see a igniting or reinvigorating of passion is what's needed with the King of Wands. So maybe some of you are just changing up your routine. Maybe it's not just your sex life, though. Maybe it has to do with, work-life balance and spending more time with your person, or sort of going back to that honeymoon phase of things you guys did early on in your partnership. And it's like, wow, we used to love doing that. We haven't done that in years. Like, let's go back and do that. Let's go away for the weekend. Let's go to the place where you proposed to me, that sort of thing. Like getting like some romance and sex back into it, I think would be healthy. For a select few of you, I think this is a repeat message I've given to earth signs before. There's like a mother who interferes with this. I don't know if it's like envy or jealousy, or it's just, I don't even necessarily get that. I think it's more just like there's a mother that has always been a huge part of this person's life, whether it's you, earth sign, or your person. And there's just kind of this need to maybe have a greater distance, because it's like there's an oversharing. Like there's too much being shared with the mother, and the mother's trying to come in and rescue and intervene. And I think the mother has good intentions, but it's like it's inappropriate for that person to be weighing in on decisions that just involve you two exclusively. So some of you need to hear that, as close as you are with your mom, allow your partner a little breathing space and distance from that in the relationship, because it's not necessarily something that they love, but they're tolerating it and trying to work with it. Or for others of you, again, that's something that your partner maybe needs to work on. And again, it could be kind of an uncomfortable conversation, but I don't see an argument. I see someone just being like, oh, okay. Like there's time to process it. There's not this immediate reaction. It's, if anything, your person might be taken back a little bit, or they just need time to, again, think it through and process. The dating apps seem to have a lot of selections on them for you right now. You may have 3 potential candidates and you're trying to whittle it down. Again, for some of you, an Aquarius or a Gemini or maybe a Capricorn is going to end up taking a larger role in your life. Some of you may be taking steps to move in with a person, and the location was not what you were anticipating. If maybe you both have apartments or whatever and you're looking to move in together, the location may actually be a lot further from your family than you were anticipating. So it may put you a little bit at odds, or just quite simply at a distance from them. So that might be something that you need to get comfortable with, or again, at least take time to consider if you're willing to do that. Let's throw one more on your King of Wands. There does seem to be a relationship, though, where there's equal give and take. Careful for those who are on dating apps and you're not in a committed partnership. There might be one in the bunch who asks for money, or asks you to lend them some money. I don't like the vibes there, especially a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sag. So just be cautious. Don't send people money online. Like, it's weird. Others of you who related to that whole thing of like, I don't know what it's called nowadays, but like paying for sex, like phone sex, whatever that's called. I'm sure there's a better term for it. Again, very careful with like money dynamics and sneaky tactics. Like there's something there of like, yeah, just give me your credit card. And then like the next day, all your money is gone. Like there's something weird about lending money to people that you don't really know, especially in regards to dating and romance, or like you picking up the tab and leaving your card at the bar. It gets misused, and there's like misappropriation of funds, or there's some weird little message there. So it's not something to fear. It's just you need to be aware of that sort of thing in the coming couple of weeks. So anyway, I know we're going down all sorts of rabbit holes here. Anything else about this King of Wands? Sex. There's a lot of sexual vibes and justice. All right, and more fire. Interesting. So Aries, Leo, Sag. There could be a committed relationship coming in with a fire sign, taking it to the next level. And also allowing your person and yourself to be fiercely independent, but then come together and kick ass as a couple. Fire signs need oxygen. They need air. They need room to breathe in order to kind of maintain their zest and enthusiasm and that fiery soul purpose, right? So the worst thing you can do to a fire sign is smother them, right? So understand that might take some getting used to. It doesn't mean they're not being faithful or they're not interested in you. It's just any healthy dynamic, you guys can go off and do your own thing and then come back together and it can be this amazing, strong relationship. So that's what I mean by there might be a little bit of distance needed for this relationship to truly grow and thrive. Justice, it can be a card of marriage and contracts. Some of you may be signing a lease for a new house or something for a new apartment or some sort of living scenario may come through here, and possibly something with a Libra as well too. So you definitely have people showing up in your reading for sure. Earth signs. Did I call you air signs before? If I did, I apologize. Because you have a lot of air coming through in your reading, that's why. All right, for Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, romance angels. Let's see, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Some of you may end up dating a cop or a detective or something of that sort. Something like a person of authority, like they wear a badge or they have a uniform or something like that. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And yeah, we talked about that earlier. The person who's like single and has given up hope. Like, I've put myself out there and nobody's on the apps and I don't like anybody who likes me. Well, that's why you're not getting anywhere, because your attitude sucks. Sorry, I said it. You deserve love. You are lovable. That's always very Sagittarian to me with the bow and arrow. And last but not least, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Earth signs, this was a kick-ass reading. I hope you thought so too. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you want to book a personal reading, that would be awesome. There is information down in the box below on how to do that. Other than that, I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.